Hey everybody, good morning. My name's Andrew. I'm from the CSC team and I'm going to be helping out this morning with these office hours. I also have Trisha Barlow, who's from the team, who's joining me. Let me rename myself real quick. Yeah, so the purpose of these are basically to answer any questions you might have about the program, resolve any issues you might have in terms of troubleshooting onboarding or using our roadmap builder, using our platform. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself and ask or drop them in the chat, and we will do our best to solve them on the call. So who would like to kick us off? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Judy, I see you. Let me unmute you. Ask you to unmute.
Are there only two of us?
It looks like I'm seeing a few other people on the call. Looks like we have 10 people on
Okay,
the call.
I'm doing this for my roadmap.
Oh yeah, no. So what question do you have?
I don't actually have a question for this right now. I want to hear what other people are talking about.
Okay,
That would
okay.
be cool.
I mean, one of the things that, we like to clarify for people is basically, the cadence of the weekly calls.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you were in the playbook last season, but our schedule of calls has changed just a little bit this season. So basically on Mondays, Chirag does live prospecting, half-hour live prospecting calls twice on Mondays. He does them at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time and 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And those are really great to join just to get into the habit of doing basic, lead generation actions with Chirag on the call. He'll sit there and answer emails and encourage the other agents to answer emails or reach out to their sphere, do those sort of income producing activities that are really vital for an agent's business. And then also on Mondays and Tuesdays at 11:30, Chirag does the core group coaching calls. So on Mondays, those are going to be geared towards working with sellers. And on Tuesdays, those are geared towards working with buyers. Do you have the calendar on your?
I do.
Okay,
I
okay.
do. Thank you. Oh, we
Um,
joined, so.
yeah. So and then supplemental to that, we have expert mentor sessions throughout the week. And then Trisha runs tool training
Yeah, I saw her
calls.
yesterday.
Yeah. So,
She was
it's a
having
lot of.
technical difficulties.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
She mentioned.
I would fall apart.
Yeah,
Oh, you just
yeah.
got to roll with it, Judy,
Yeah.
you know. What can you do?
Mhm.
Well, those are recorded. So we have other ones of the same, right, Trisha, of past trainings that are the same topic that like are recorded
Yeah,
in yeah.
absolutely. There is past, if you go into past events, you should be able to find something similar in the recordings there. But like I said, they're all repeated. That's the thing. My ones, we do the tool trainings, but they're from the CSC perspective. It's not so much that I'm doing what an agent experience, showing you how to use the tool. I'm just showing you how to use it the CSC way
Right.
and just jumping in on different bits. And the marketing, the listing presentation one is very popular because it is integrating all of our resources. And then the other one that's very popular is the iPad and calendar customization one. Because they're unique to just us.
Mhm.
So, but like I said, they're repeated, like in the next 90 days, they're going to be there at least 3 times on your calendar. So if you
Yeah,
miss
I've
one, you can
seen,
always
yeah.
hop into another.
I'll take another one because I like the visual.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And people can follow along as we do the things. Has everybody accessed the platform? Is everybody okay having a look? Yeah, we know there's a lot of content, and that's why we asked you to complete the roadmap builder. As one of the feedbacks is that we have so much content that it can be very overwhelming. So if you've got your builder completed, you should start getting information from your navigator this weekend. Now, in saying that, there's nothing to stop you just going in and playing around with all the content that's there anyway. You don't have to just stick to what is said. You can always just play around. But if you at least do what the navigator sends, then you're good.
Yeah, I mean, if you have an open house this weekend, if you have a listing appointment coming up, by all means, go into the platform and, type in the phrase open house or listing presentation or, working with a seller. And you'll see resources that are already ready for you to go right there that you can start using right now,
Yeah. Kathy, I
business
believe the
planning,
navigator's
anything.
going to start this weekend, right, Andrew? It'll be Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday is our target date for launching that. And basically the first message from that is going to be Sunday evening, reminding you to log into the platform or open up your calendar, look at the sessions that are coming up for the week and really, mark the ones you want to attend. We have so many that it doesn't make sense. You're more than welcome to attend all of them, but you really want to just attend maybe 2 to 3, the 2 to 3 that are going to be most important and impactful to you. And then, so that's going to be the Sunday communication. Then starting on Monday, you're going to get messages that basically point you in the direction of your roadmap and say, this is the first item on your roadmap list of content that we want you to review. Please take some time today or tomorrow to review it. And then we'll check in and see if you did do that and what you thought of it. And then eventually at the end of the week, what I think is kind of cool is we're going to have a habit tracking check-in. And if you opted into that in the roadmap builder, which was the last question in the roadmap builder, it said, do you want to opt into habit tracking? And I think most people said yes. And then that message is just going to be like, how many calls did you make this week? How many listing appointments did you have? All of these metrics that, you want to track on your end, and then we'll be able to track on our end. So at the end of the 90 days, we can say in 90 days, from week 1, you called maybe 10 people from your sphere. But by the end of this 90 days, now you're calling 20 people a week from your sphere, or whatever it might be. And so that's tangible growth that you would have demonstrated in those 90 days. And that's the whole point of coaching and of this program, but those communications are going to go out starting Sunday. So,
I
do
just
we
want,
any, yeah.
I just want to tell everybody that I logged in on Monday and did the first thing in the morning Monday.
Oh, the live prospecting?
Yeah, I did the live prospecting, sent out 6 emails. Don't know why I'm echoing. I sent out 6 emails. I got 1 new client. I'm not kidding. One of the people I emailed said, oh, I was just thinking about you, and I'm giving your name to some buyers who, she said, I don't know if they have an agent or not. I just gave them your name. And the people called me yesterday and they said she didn't give my phone number. She didn't give my email address. Well, of course, my email address would have been long changed because I was with a different company, but they just Googled me based on the fact that she gave me their name, gave my name, and $1.7 million client. And I think this should get back to Chirag. And then
I'm gonna spotlight you because I want to have this. I want to record this. So can you repeat? So you did the live prospecting on Monday.
Oh, I did live prospecting on Monday, and quite frankly, when he started saying we're going to do live prospecting, I was like, oh geez, this isn't what I thought I was signing on at 6, because I'm in the West Coast at 6:30 in the morning. So I didn't think I was actually going to be doing something. I thought I was going to be listening to Chirag, which is what we all want to do. We just want to listen and not do, right? It's a habit we all have.
Mhm.
Oh, I should speak for myself. It's a habit I have. So when he started talking and he said, okay, right now, contact people, I just froze for a little bit. And then he also said since I was on the West Coast, to have it sent later. So I went ahead and did 6 emails. I got 3 responses. And one of the responses was, I was just thinking, I haven't talked to this woman in probably 8 years. I sold her a house 10 years ago. So she said, I was just thinking about you, just gave your name to somebody. And I said, oh, thanks, and then later in the day, I got a text message from a person who said, this woman had given just your name, no phone number, nothing. They Googled me, they got me, they're interested in spending 1.7 million on a house, all cash. And then I got another email from her last night saying, I understand you live in this neighborhood. How does one get a house in that neighborhood? So this could turn into 3 deals from one email. Just wanted you to know.
That's incredible. I'm going to share this with Chirag after the call. That's great. Well, Mavis, I've seen you on a lot of the calls. So like you're one of our, frequent clients that tunes in. Right. No, but that's great. And I'm very happy for you. That's amazing.
And somebody just asked me how I approached it, because it's January, it's a perfect time to just say Happy New Year. I said, Happy New Year, just checking in. We haven't talked in a really long time. Hope you're well. Are you still working at such and such a place? Which actually I had no idea opened a whole thing about how they changed the name to the place she works and how unhappy she is with that. So that started another little thing I didn't even know. I just said, are you still at this place? But I have a question, because a lot of what I call the good stuff I want to watch, it turns out to be 8:30 my time. And I have a special class that I go to that goes from 8 to 9. It's a yoga class that's not offered many times in the day. It's only offered 8 to 9. So where am I going to find the recordings of those? I was kind of disappointed because Wendy Forsythe seems to be at 8:30 during my yoga class more than once.
Yeah, so actually this is a great transition, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the dashboard with everybody. Because I also want to point out that the live prospecting call that Mavis was on, where she had, such great success, you can actually go back and watch that. So when you log into the platform, if you go to sessions and events, which is where for the upcoming events, and then, events like what's going on right now, you would click join to access the call. If you click on past events, you can then scroll down and see, for example, the live prospecting call. And you can watch the recording back, any of the resources that were shared, even the meeting chat. If somebody puts something in the chat that, another agent that you really, it really resonates with you, and you want to go back and remember what they wrote, you can download the chat. So Mavis, for you, this would be Wendy's calls, after the fact would be in the past events, and they would show up there. And I think, one of the things that we'll do, certainly, we've only released the calendar for the first 90 days. So if there's a lot of feedback that people on the West Coast, or in other time zones, want more flexibility in when they can join the calls, then we'll try to accommodate that for the next 90 days, but for at least the first 90 days, this is the schedule that we have. And I'm sorry if it's not aligning totally with your schedule, but hopefully you'll be able to get in and watch some of the recordings after the fact,
Chirag so recommended Wendy's, and I was like, and then I looked at the topic. I was like, well, I really need that. So I will watch it later today.
Yeah, that's great. Are there any other questions? I'm looking in the chat. I don't see any. And feel free to come off mute as well. Oh, so it looks like Bill, you raised your hand. Let me get you to, sorry, unmute. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I am completely new to the platform, and I started poking around, actually setting up my profile. I got as far as putting up my headshot, and then I got to put in my social media and everything else. So for someone who has not used the platform, what's a step-by-step place to start?
I would say, the first step is attending these calls, because I really feel like the best way to show you how to use it is just to walk you through it live. For right now, the most important thing is being able to access, the sessions and events. And it looks like you've been able to do that since you're on the call today. So let me just share my screen real quick, and we'll do just another quick tour. There we go. So, for getting started, for, making your profile, it sounds like these are all things that you've been able to do, adding a headshot, eventually adding your social. That's all, great stuff. The most important thing, again, is sessions and events. This is where you'll see the upcoming events that we have. You can also click on a calendar view. And then you can see, once it loads, the sessions mapped out, in a calendar format. And then it takes a little bit for the calendar to populate. And then, yeah, so you can see here, these are the sessions in a calendar format for you. And then we also have them, the past events. This is where all of the recordings are going to be posted for, the day's sessions. If you couldn't make one, normally they're uploaded within 24 hours, the next day. And then for all of the resources, like the written resources that we have, they're going to be in this My Coaching content library. So you're going to see, for example, end to end, which you have access to. You're going to see, all of the tool training guides, the seller coaching videos, the seller system, the buyer system. When you click into these, it can be a little bit overwhelming, because, we just have so much content here, of pretty much everything you need to know, in terms of working with a buyer or working with a seller or using a Compass tool. But that's one of the reasons why we had you create, your roadmap and do the roadmap builder, is because really the point of that is to distill all of this content and give it to you on a week-to-week basis based on what you need. And that's going to start on Sunday with the Navigator experience. And what's going to happen is you're going to be sent text messages that point you to specific pieces of content within this platform. So, for example, if you, got the seller essentials, one of the pieces of content you might be sent to is like pre-qualifying a seller. And so you'll be sent to this guide, and you'll be able to look through here and, read this and study this, and then start using this in your business. So I know that was sort of a crash course in the platform. Again, I think the most important thing for right now is just being able to access the sessions and events, which is what you've been able to do. I also think that, if you have any lingering questions about the platform, we're doing these support calls again. We're doing it today at 12:30, and then we're doing it tomorrow, same time, 9:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. And, you're more than welcome to join again as many times as you want and keep asking us questions, as anything comes up when you explore the platform.
It gave me the option when I completed a roadmap to access it, but when I click on it, it downloaded. It said you need permission, so I'm not sure where
Okay,
to go.
I'll have a quick look at that now.
Yeah, because Will, I think I added you manually yesterday based on your conversation with Chirag. So I think what might have happened is it didn't go through like our normal. I had to override some of our normal triggers, so that might be why you were getting that issue. But we'll look into that and shoot you an email after.
Yeah,
once
you're
we
all set
resolve
up
that.
now. You should be good.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, folks. Appreciate your time. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, we are a little over time. So we're gonna have to wrap up the call, but if there are any other questions or if anything comes up during the day, please feel free to jump into our second call today at 12:30, or again, we're doing this tomorrow, 9:30 and 12:30 Eastern time. So. All right, yeah, well, congrats again, Mavis. I'm gonna share that with Chirag. And you'll have to come back on Monday for more live prospecting, get more clients, you know? All right, thanks, everybody, and we will see you on some of our other roadmap calls. Bye.